What it is, you guys, it is your girl Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life Prison Wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice. Hoping, girl, to see justice before all face to black. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, coming through 2:30 a.m. on May the 20th, 2023. Just watched this video. Let me tell you what the name of this video is, girl. Got my laptop out. I'm working on editing, like not editing, but I'm working on structuring my channel, getting my channel into playlists and stuff like that, putting some of the missing links, because y'all know I love to tell y'all to check the description box. And the link don't even be there, girl. That be because you know, I'm just trying to get out as much as I can on my channel. And then I'll go back and fix it. Like before, when I first started this channel, I would you know, do I would basically do everything like perfect, like try to be perfect. And I realized that that was just slowing me down. Like nobody can be that perfect that I was trying to be, like as far as editing and research and this and that, and I gotta look perfect, and then and if some on my eye or my eye going to bed, I can't put the video out. Girl, being like that, I would never get my videos, my wrongful conviction content. That means my message would never get out if I constantly just consider the little things. Like I know YouTube is basically like what you look like and stuff like that. Some of the things people be saying, like, who would care if the person presenting it wasn't so beautiful? Like for real. Like it's very what is that word? It's very superficial. Most of content, Instagram, if you're on TikTok, most of it's superficial, right? But I have a message. And if I can't superficially put myself together all the time, and I have to literally wait until I can be perfect enough to present you with a message, girl, goodbye with that. That's why after I started back on my channel in 2000, I think by 2001, your girl was over and done with that. I was tired of all that extra editing for y'all not to watch. Going and making myself up. You know, like sometimes you ain't at your best. Like at your best, you are love. Yes, that's when people want to love you, when you at your best. But girl, love me at my worst. That proves that you real. Like for real. But yeah, but I got a message and I have to hold what I need to say just because, you know, my hair ain't laid or this and that. Like, girl, goodbye with that. I'm working on freeing my husband. And it's not just my husband, it's many, many others. So I was just watching this video, another wrongfully convicted video. Let's see if you can see my screen. Girl, I'm doing this so ghettoly, if that was a word. But so this is life after being wrongfully imprisoned. This is, I guess the stories are coming out of California because it's called SoCal. It was the stories of Obie Anthony and Rafael Madrigal. I hope that's correct. I'm sorry if it's not. I'm not trying to butcher your name, girl. People butcher my name all the time. And I don't really take it like, you know, offensively. It's just because people don't know how to pronounce your name. But I'm so sorry. But let's try it one more time. Madrigal. Okay. So it was like reflecting two different stories of people in California that were wrongfully convicted. Now, Obie, I believe, did 17 years in prison, and Rafael did 10. Wow, that is short. 10 years for a wrongful conviction. That is almost unheard of. And I was thinking, God, dog, if Marcello had been, let me prop my coffee behind this tablet. No, then that's going to drop. If it falls over, it's going to make my coffee spill on the carpet. So that's not going to work, girl. Whoa. Girl, it definitely is ghetto-ly. But see, I'm getting it done. Trying to get it done. Okay, so let's move some of my clutter out my background. That's my bag, my notebook. I take notes all day. There it go. I knew that was going to happen. Dog it. You kidding me? I literally just said that. Hold on, guys. Okay, what can I prop behind this thing? Come on. Okay, give me a moment, y'all. Let me clean this up before this gets stuck in the carpet. I literally just said that. It didn't make a big mess, though. I caught it. Grace of God, I caught it. But I should have knew better than that. Girl, I should have known. Okay, so anyways, don't know what I was saying. Girl, I was saying something. Oh, that actually is good. My little shelf thing. Okay, so 10 years. 10 years is a very short time to be exonerated, because exoneration, if it ever comes, like the longest running wrongful conviction that I've researched thus far was Kevin Strickland, 43 years. So to think that from 10 to 43, that is a 33-year discount on his time. So that's very short. Okay, so in the video, I'll actually link it in the description box below. Hopefully we'll do that real soon. But if not, just check back. It'll be there, girl. I'm going to try my best to put it there, right? So it was doing comparisons because Obie, he was in 6 years in, a lawyer, got a hold of his case and started helping him. But I'm thinking that he, at the end, it said he did about 17 years. That was Marcello's plea. Like, I wish Marcello could have done 17 years. Like, that means, because Marcello is 21 years in, oh my gosh, that would have been 4 years ago, right? Yeah. 4 years ago, Marcello could have been home. I would have been 37, right? Or 38, about to be 38. Still good childbearing years. Like, it's getting up there, but still could have birthed another child. He still could have been out in enough time to do whatever he needed to do. He wouldn't have missed Money's high school graduation. He could have made it home for that. And just a couple of weeks ago, he wouldn't have missed Money's college graduation. And the biggest part, he wouldn't have missed the birth of our granddaughter. And now he's missed our granddaughter's first year of life. And don't know how many more years he's going to miss of that. So I'm like, dang, I'm like even wishing for 17 years at this point. That would have been really nice. And then, what's his name? Rafael did 10 years. Now, that's even nicer, because that means Marcello would have been home. Money would have been 11. We would have only been 31 and 30, still in our prime. Still able to do so much together. Still able to build. Girl, I wouldn't have been that single mother for the whole entirety of raising Money. I would have been able to, do the teenage years and things like that with her, with him. And I wouldn't have been just so, but I think I did pretty well in my husband's wrongful conviction and raising our daughter and just being everything for the first 10 years. It was not until after maybe 15 to 17 years that it just became so overwhelming to me to where, girl, I can't do this. This is way too goddamn much. And by the time it got to that point, money was grown, right? So, but yeah, I would wish for either one of those. Right now we're 21 years in, and you know how fast time is going by. Soon I'm going to be saying 22 years, you know, if grace of God, he doesn't come home soon, you know. But anyhow, Obie was released. And so in their state, they were saying the United States, 30 out of the 50 states do offer compensation for those wrongfully convicted, right? But the thing is that they said it's basically so many stipulations. Just because you're free, like on a technicality or because of misconduct or something like that, that doesn't necessarily qualify you for the money. You have to be factually innocent, which is when a judge says that you're factually innocent, that when they deem you to be factually innocent. In that case, then they cannot deny you compensation if you are not found factually innocent. So now, Obie was found factually innocent. Unfortunately, Rafael was not found factually innocent. And Rafael did about 9, almost 10 years. So his was 200 something $1,000. And Rafael's was 500 some $1,000 because it was like, what, $140, I believe, a day that you spent in prison. That's how much they paid you for each day. But honestly, no amount of money really replaces that time. Time is not, like, it was another thing that I had seen where it said your time, your location, and your finances is some of the biggest things, you know, that are part of being free. Freedom, your time, your location, and your finance. Okay, so time, I believe, is worth so much more than money. You cannot replace, you can replace money, but you cannot replace time. There's literally, I don't care if you gave $1 billion, literally, if I offered you $1 billion today, would you go sit in a cell for 30 years? Would you be okay with that? Like, if you would not trade your life for, what amount of money would you trade your life for? Knowing that life is already short in itself. And at the end of our life, it doesn't matter if you had $1 billion. Who cares if you had $1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion? Who cares? At the end of life, it's about how you spent your life. Who you spent your life with. What you spent your life doing. Like, that's really what matters. So there's really no amount of money. But I do understand those wanting to be compensated because you took, it's almost like when your loved one is outed or wrongful, like a wrongful death or a, in the case of my mother passing away, what amount of money replaces your mother? But you just, I guess you just want something, like, to show that my life was worth something is what I believe is basically more on the It's the principle of the matter. It's not so much the money. Yes, you do need the money because they took all that time away from you. You weren't able to work. You weren't able to be out in the workforce. You weren't able to do this and do that. You missed out on having children. That's what one of the things that Obie said, that they took all that time, like he has no children. And children are my world, girl. And I felt him when he said that. Y'all know I got one child. And that is why I have one child, because I wanted 5. But I don't want them with random Harry, Sam, or whoever. I want them with my husband, Marcello Jackson, the man that I love, the man that has my heart. That's who I want my kids with. So because I could not be, Florida don't have no conjugal visits at all. You know, California, where these 2 stories are coming out of, they have conjugal visits. So they're able to continue their families, though it's going to be challenging. That if they choose to continue their family, they will be able to. But Florida and other states, a lot of them don't have that. So we do not have the ability to continue our family until the person is free. So because of that, I have not been able to have any other children. And now, because his wrongful conviction has lasted so freaking long, how we know that the factory ain't shut down, girl? It doesn't even work anymore. Like, girl, like for real. But yeah, I feel him on that one. I truly feel him on that one. But he's still young. He's still got enough time. He's free, so now he can have them children or whatever. But yeah, it's so sad that it's happening all the time. And then the number one thing you hear that I just took note of is why in most of these wrongful conviction cases and stories, one of the first things you're going to hear is there was no physical evidence in the case. We really need to look into that. Why is everybody, as well in Marcello Jackson's case, no physical evidence linking him to the case? So that should have been red flag. Red flag number 1, there's no evidence. He might be innocent. Girl. Like, are you kidding me? Like, if nothing more, if my videos do nothing more, then you flash back and think about this whenever you call the jury duty. Girl, I've done my piece in life. If you're ever called to that jury duty and you're like, no, I don't know. I have to know everything that's going on and I got to understand. And where's the evidence? If you ever get there and you're questioning and you're like, yes, like really just like giving this person the shot that they're supposed to have, that their, constitutional rights ensure. Girl, I've done my part, honestly. Even if Marcello never walked through them gates, I have done my part. But we really need to start caring, like for real. Like the guy, Obie, he was 19, just as Marcello was 19. Marcello was 19, I was 20. We just had our daughter, 2 months old. I wasn't even off of bed rest before this ish started. Wrongfully arrested and just snatched away. Can you imagine? I know y'all hear me yapping every day, but can you imagine when you had your child? And I mean, we were just so in love. Think about the person you love now. Don't think about that dude you don't get 2 cents about. Like, oh my God, like, girl, why? What was I thinking? Not that person. Don't think about him. Think about that one you love, your boo thing, oh my God, I got to marry this one, that one. And 2 months after, your life is completely headed down a different stream. Like, think about it. How would you feel? I mean, everybody comment every day, a girl would have did this. Like, literally, in my shoes. Come step in my shoes. Would you feel that way still? Yeah, so, I mean, it wasn't that easy. It's not that easy to let that person go. It really ain't, especially when you know they're innocent. I think it would have been easier to let Marcello go had he really did the crime. Like, literally. Like, and there's many days I just wish he had a done the crime he's accused of. That way, it would have been a purpose of our family being shattered and destroyed and taken apart for no reason. There would have been a purpose in him being just a bed filler, wasting his life in prison. There would have been purpose behind that. It wouldn't have been just for nothing. But, yeah. And okay, and so in Rafael's story, he did not obtain the money. He lost. They denied him the money. In Obie's case, he got a whole bill passed, and it's now called Obie's Law. I can't remember exactly what Obie's Law is, but we're gonna have to research that. But he got another 800 million from hold on, was it 800 million? Girl, I don't want to quote the wrong amounts. Let's see. Where was the video I was watching? 800, let's see. They love to throw people away. It's like, could we throw their children away? Could we throw their fathers and husbands away like they throw ours away?
Kimberly. The first time he saw her was when she visited him in prison. Penitentiary.
Trying to find
compensation to exonerees. An exoneree can apply for $140 for every day spent in state prison.
What would you trade?
Is $140 worth your day in prison? If you can prove it. Because most people die trying to prove their innocence. I hope I don't die trying to free Marcello. I hope Marcello doesn't, I hope he sees freedom before that day. But I don't know. It's not worth it.
20 years in prison for. Would you trade it for $500,000, $600,000, which is what they're getting through this process?
Would you trade 20 years of your life for $500,000?
Civil rights attorney David McClain handled.
Okay, so there it is. Now, there's the amounts. I just missed it. Okay, $581,600. That's how much Obie was compensated. He actually won his compensation. And now, Rafael was eligible for $281,700 for his 9 years of wrongful conviction, but he was denied that. So he did that time scot-free. He didn't get paid a dime for it. But he does say he's going to continue to fight. Girl. And then some states, like Kevin Strickland, his state, which, I'm sorry, where was he from? Missouri. There was no monetary. We lock you up. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. I made a mistake. That like someone stepped on your shoe. But you free to go. But my bad. You wasn't the right one. My bad. Like, girl, are you kidding me? Girl. You got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. But so Obie went on to set up something called the Exoneration Nation. Now I'm trying to see how much was the other amount that Obie won. So Obie won twice. Oh, he won twice. But is it even worth it? All that money, is it worth it? You tell me. I think I would have rather had my husband there. And he already said when that interview with Money, that being there for Money during those times, first steps, first words, high school graduation, college graduation, that's worth more than winning the lottery. He would have rather been there for those times than to hit the jackpot.
Convicted me, incarcerated me, took 17 years from me. Did zero.
He wanted to do something to change that. So in 2015, he went to Sacramento to testify before the state assembly.
So I'm here today and ask for your aye vote in support of the bill because I'll do tremendous work and the help that it'll do.
A law was passed. It was dubbed Obie's Law. It requires the Department of Corrections to assist exonerees after they're released, to help them rebuild their lives, to get simple things like a driver's license.
Once they come home, they will now receive a stipend of funds to help them to transition back into society and to help them get their Social Security card, identification card.
But he hasn't stopped there. Obie's taking another step. He's starting a nonprofit organization called Exonerated Nation. Its mission will be to help exonerees like him get back on their feet.
The mission of the nonprofit is to not only assist exonerees when they come home to transition back into a society, but to also to act as a nucleus to all the other centers that has been risen by exonerees across the United States.
It's being called a record settlement.
Exonerated Nation.
So if it's that many exonerated, just think about it. It's that many more that's behind bars because only this amount of wrongful convictions get exonerated. God, dog.
Exists because of a multi-million-dollar settlement from the city of Los Angeles. Obie Anthony was awarded $8.3 million for wrongful imprisonment.
Okay. Sorry. Y'all know I exaggerated. It wasn't the 800.
Award is separate from the state
It wasn't the 800 million. Girl. Another zero. My bad. Another 2 zeros. 8 million extra. So he got that 500,000 and then 8 million. But still, all of that, is it worth it? Would you do it? Would you do that time? 17 years. Would you give up 17 years of your life for that amount of money? I don't think I could. I don't think nobody would. I mean, no. No, I don't think nobody would. But I mean, once you take it from the person, then, you know. Yeah, so I'm tired. I'm going to bed. It's 3 a.m. I got other stuff to do. I wanted to go and walk at the park with you guys and chop it up about something. We'll figure out something to talk about. But I really wanted to go check out that park we went to yesterday. So I was going to do that in the morning. But girl, I'm up. Like, I'm up. I'm supposed to be going to bed. Like, for real. So anyways, I'm going to go to sleep. I got to let this go.